Hey everybody, this is Nick from Alibaba Cloud, and it's a great honor to be here to introduce about Alibaba Cloud products and services, and I'll get right on to it. So I think many of you has already heard about Alibaba Cloud. I mean, we're no stranger to the cloud business, but we might be a newcomer in the Web3 area because there hasn't been a lot of activities from major cloud vendors, probably except for Google. But we're trying to step up in this area, which I will go a little bit into detail on what we have in this area to offer. So just a very general introduction. Alibaba Cloud has been around the corner since about 2009, and we started our internationalization journey back in 2013 at the beginning of 2014. And according to Gartner, about 2 years ago, we had about 9.5 market share around the world. And within Asia Pacific, we have quite a bit of footprint in terms of data center, CDN nodes, and so on and so forth. So, so if you haven't read about us, please go on, and you'll find us have quite a lot to offer. So this is a map about Alibaba Cloud in terms of data center and services, which you can see that actually we have a huge footprint, not just in China, but in Southeast Asia as well. So overall, we had about 28 regions around the world and over 3,000 CDN nodes, and 86 AZs, available zones, right, around the world. So I just like to point out that we had our Korean local data center opened back in 2022, which is last year, and we also have our team here to support the business. So both Korea, Japan, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, we all have local data centers within those regions, so that to make sure all of your data and customer information, transaction information, everything are stored locally. Especially, for example, for countries like Indonesia and for Japan, where there are laws, local laws that requires local storage for information. So basically, we already met those criteria. And last thing to mention is that we actually headquarters out of Singapore for our global business. So if you're contracting out of the cloud, for example in Korea or in Japan, you'll find the contract that you're actually contracting with a Singapore entity. So that's just something to notice. So this is a very interesting part that I wanted to stress, and in every single conversation or every single speech that I have, I always make sure that I try to address this as much as possible, because I think there are a lot of perception issues, per se, that let's say that certain nations are not too friendly to the Web3 world, so that cloud vendors from that nation are also unfriendly to the Web3 world. So what I want to say here is that I'm not going to try to change any perceptions if you have, but I just want to lay out the facts for you that we actually have a dedicated team for compliance and certificates, and that includes, let's say, global level standards like the the global level standards such as the ISO series. And also we have industry level and also regional level, and we're working on Korean local level compliance certificates like ISMS as well. So hopefully, if everything goes well, we'll soon have that. And we already have, let's say, compliance certificates for the financial industry in Japan, such as like FISC and NISC. Those are actually quite strict compliances. And every year, basically, our standard operations are being monitored and being reviewed by the Big Four, one of the Big Fours. So there are SOC reports being generated every year in terms of Alibaba Cloud's data storage, security, and so on and so forth. What I can guarantee you is that all of your information, your data, and your customer information are all stored locally wherever you're creating your account, wherever you're providing services. And it's really up to you how to manage this data. And we, as the infrastructure provider, can make sure that basically we suit your needs in terms of data storage. Okay, so if you want to move, let's say your data completely overseas, not in Korea or not in China, that's totally up to you. I mean, we have the capability to support that. Okay. All right, so when it comes to Web3 or blockchain, I think one of the interesting things that you might notice is that we do have Alipay. Alipay has been a pretty interesting service around the world, and Alipay actually had a lot of investment in the blockchain area as well. So these are the patent numbers that Alibaba Group holds, and a lot of them are from Alipay, and some of them are from Alibaba Cloud as well. So point being that we invest a lot in the blockchain-related technology, and so is Web3. So this is only from a technology perspective, how much that we are putting into the industry. All right, so here comes the interesting part. I would say that what exactly are we doing in the Web3 industry? So actually, today, thanks to Sui Builder House, this has been extremely educational to me as well. I've been talking with a lot of partners and also with a lot of attendees. I'm learning a lot about this industry as well, and a lot of terms as well. So one key thing that this is just my opinion, right? You don't have to agree with it. And one key thing I felt is that a lot of the Web3 applications and ideas are still remaining within the Web3 area. And Web3 area, by default, for example, when economy is well, then a lot of monies are being poured into Web3, then everything's blooming and great, right? But guess what? If, let's say, if bull market, if bear market comes, what happened, right? The money gets pulled away, customers gets pulled away, and the lot of project dies, right? So I think eventually, the Web3 area still lies within one key question, and that is, what is the value we're providing to customers, to consumers, to society, to the world? And that is the key question that we all have to answer, right? Technologies are fancy, but if technology are not into your daily lives, then that's nothing, okay? So, where is that? Where exactly is the requirement? Where exactly is the need, the demand, the money, the customer? Still, it is actually within so-called Web 2 or even Web 1. So actually, Web 2 here is a very loose term that I'm using. It doesn't mean, let's say, Taobao or like Amazon or let's say Twitter or something. That's not what I mean by Web 2. By Web 2, what I really meant is all the traditional industries outside of Web 3. So for example, manufacturing, for example, retail, for example, finance, right? For example, logistics, or even for example, let's say real estate, right? So actually, our strengths from Alibaba Cloud is that we have the cloud technology, and we have a lot of customers and partners in the so-called Web 2 area. So naturally, the key value that we can provide to our customers and our partners, especially in this very intelligent and blooming Web 3 area, is that we can help you bridge your technology and your idea with the Web 2 industries, right? So I just met a very interesting company yesterday, and also of course today, is that they are actually doing metaverse for one of the large fashion brands. And the reason that the fashion brands want to do this metaverse is because they wanted to get better support and services and even just, let's say experience to their own customers, because all their customers has a lot of, are very rich, has a lot of money, and they wanted to experience some of the cutting edge, metaverse tours. So naturally, this is one of the very promising touch point or landing point, I would say, that for metaverse is that actually through this fashion brands, you can actually import your technology with those brands to serve the so-called Web 2 or traditional level customers, right? And guess what? Alibaba Cloud and Alibaba from the retail industry, we know a lot of companies like that. I mean, we have a lot of customers in this area. So naturally, you can become our ISV, right? We can OXM your solution, and we can present that to our customers and to help, let's say, help you grow together. So that's, of course, one key value that we can provide to the Web3 area. So that, I mean, that's just one example that I'm giving. And naturally, I really believe that as we go deeper, there's going to be more and more of those kind of things coming out. And I'm very, very, very happy to work together and brainstorming together with you to, to come up with more interesting ideas. And that's on the business side, by the way. And here comes the technology side, right? So from the technology side, again, we have a dedicated team starting from last year to do Web3 cloud-related solutions. For example, blockchain node service, data service, development tools, and so on and so forth. Guess what? If you're using other cloud vendors, right, you face two problems. One problem is that for other cloud vendors who already has this kind of services, they're very expensive. Especially in this bear market, everybody wants to save money, right? Cash is king, cash is key, right? So we solve that problem by default. And second is that for those of for the other cloud vendors, they might not have similar services. And what does that mean? That means that your maintenance cost, your development cost, and your running cost is going to be much higher. So that's why we poured our efforts into this area to develop this kind of a tool, and it's going to be for closed beta by the end of June. So later on, I'm going to share a QR link so that you can register and apply. So point is that we help you cut your cost and improve your efficiency. That's number one. Number two is that we partner, just like mentioned, we partner with a lot of the Web3 partners so that we can OXM your solution. We can be the co-seller of your solution. So by working with Alibaba Cloud, actually you are tapping into the vast variety of Web2 industries, and we're very happy to work together with you for that. So that's another key reason I would say why, right, you want to work with Alibaba Cloud, because guess what? We can enhance your business. We can expand your business, okay? And of course, last but not least, the so-called developer community, right? We just hosted a hackathon in Japan, which I think over 80 contestants joined us. And we had our final ceremony in the Team Z Web3 event last month. And we plan to do the same in Korea. And we're going to do more this year around the world. So, please, by all means, feel free to join that. Not to just win awards, but also, get a touch of, our excellent services and also become a part of our ecosystem to grow together. Okay, so here, this is the thing that I wanted to emphasize. Also, we have the QR code here, in case you want to register and give it a try. Point is that, one-click node launching available, so that, for example, by using other cloud vendors, you have to go through this a long, redundant process to set up a lot of the tools. Let's say that if you wanted to, build your NFT on Avalanche, then you have to follow their menu, and you have to do a lot of the manual work, to get your, get your node up, get your chain up. But with Alibaba Cloud Service, it's going to be one click, right? It's very simple. So what happened with that is that it's going to really reduce your maintenance cost, and it's going to speed up your, your transactions and everything. And guess what? A lot of the GameFi or other, let's say, NFT players, what they're looking for is speed, right? Because using public internet, it's just very slow. So we already have our global network. We already have our global data center presence. We already have the global backbone network. So once you're using Alibaba Cloud, you automatically get all that perk, which means that your transactional speed is going to be much higher as well. And also for validators, let's say for GameFi users, for GameFi developers, right? We also have cloud, right? Not just cloud, but global coverage, global coverage, local data centers, right? So we can basically be wherever you want it to be, wherever your customers at, and then we can provide you with a very good integrated service with blockchain, Web3 together with cloud services, and that's going to cut costs, improve speed, and reduce the maintenance complexity. So that's what we have to offer. Okay, of course, not to mention security, because we know today there are several, not several, but there are a lot of security startups on Sui as well. So if, for example, you wanted to become a part of our ecosystem and you want us to, let's say, integrate your capability, by all means talk with us as well. We're very happy for that discussion. Okay. So that's all I have to share today, and hopefully this can be some help to you. Thank you so much. Thank you.